Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris Orme, and as always, you're very welcome here. We're going to do a rundown of our Season 8, the final season of our Swansea save from our Twitch campaign that we streamed live at Twitch TV/Chris Orme. So, it's been a wild ride. This is the final update. This is the final season we played. As you can see, we're barely right at the beginning of the next season, which would have been Season 9. Community Shield needs to be won. Sun needs to be had. Stadium with a name on it. Now, not all those have been achieved. That means in my own time, I will be playing this. A little bit of downtime, just offline, just going through some seasons, developing some youngsters. We might do some update videos along the way. But it's no longer my live save on Twitch. That's currently a journeyman. We started it with no badges, no coaching badges, at the lowest reputation you can start, being a Sunday League footballer, which is the lowest you could be, and unemployed. Now, I loaded up a lot of leagues. I didn't load up England because we've just been basically dominant in England and Europe for the past 8 years. So, what I decided to do was to freshen things up a bit. We put some leagues from around the world. Now, Japan was an option, South Korea, China, Australia, they were all options from Australasia. South American teams from, or leagues from Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Colombia, maybe a couple extra bits here or there. I also had Mexico in there. I had the MLS from America, and the Canadian CPL League, although I do have a CPL team, so I wasn't really going to apply for those jobs to begin with, but it was a possibility. It was a possibility. I wasn't going to want to do that. I wasn't going to start by doing that. But yeah. Sorry, I just had a call come up on my phone, rather strangely. Haven't really had one for days, and then when I record a video, it comes up live. So yeah, basically, I added all those leagues in. I added all the big European leagues, minus England. Some smaller leagues as well. And I also added in, I think, Egypt and South Africa. I think they were the only ones from Africa that I actually ended up adding. So, what happens is, you start up the game unemployed and everything. You're as bad as a manager can be. You go into the save, and you start applying for jobs. You can skip forward some time to change up the jobs that are available. You can start applying straight away. It took me a little time. I got through. I managed to get into a Danish club called BK Avata. Now, this is Bowl Club in Avata, BK Avata, in the second or 2 division. And then the Nordic Bet Liga is their kind of championship, and their Super Liga is the Premier League. So it's a 3rd tier. Now, of course, you might have heard of teams like Copenhagen, Midtjylland, Brøndby. You might have heard of some of these. Odense, my favorite Danish club. You might have heard of some of those. You go down, unless you played a lot of Football Manager, are from the region, somewhere in or near Scandinavia, maybe, or through real life football, you probably will not have heard of teams like Randers, Silkeborg, Lyngby, Vale. You probably won't have heard of a lot of these, but they're decent clubs. Now, when you go down, even if you do know a lot about sort of football in general, you might not know about these teams. Roskilde, Thisted, Helsinge, Slagelse. You might not have known about those. So yeah, it's a real low tier. It's a semi-professional team. Mainly the staff are semi-pro. Some of the staff are semi-pro. 90% of the players are amateurs. It's not a very good reputation club. It's not a very good club in terms of facilities. Let me get the facilities up. You can see it's not really good. They don't have a good stadium. There's nothing really special about Avarta. They're a third-tier team. They've always really been a third-tier team or below. So that's where we started. They've got a couple of decent players, but no one really to write home about. So I went and got some free transfers and did some bits with them. Things progressed, and then we move on from there. But that was my starting point for that. So that's what we've been doing live on Twitch. I might do a bit of an update of that save in a separate video. But if you're interested, that is continuing on for where the Swansea save was left off. So twitch.tv/Chris Orme. You can check me out there with that journeyman save. Currently in Scandinavia. I will say we're in Season 4. And there's exciting things happening. So come see and find out what that is. Or stay tuned for perhaps an update video on this channel a little later on. So back to the Swansea save then. That's what happened next. But how did we finish? Well, we signed a lot of kids, basically, Season 8. We signed a lot of kids. There's one extra name that I'm not going to reveal, but if you look at that 141 million, and you add up all this, you're like, hold on, where's that money? And there's only one name, so it must be a lot of money. That's because it's a big name. So all of these youngsters, I don't think any of them are really anything to write home about. Luis Suarez was 35. He was pretty good. No physicals, but pretty good apart from that. If you're going to get one 35-year-old Uruguayan striker, get another one. Edison Cavani in as well. Neymar was available on a free transfer. Was actually our fourth best striker. A little bit better physicals, but pretty much the same kind of player. He did a decent job for us in the short time he was at the club. We actually lined up with him. And this guy, who we got in on a free transfer in Season 8, who actually looks identical to how we did at 33, 34 years of age. So there's no drop-off since early 30s to late 30s for Messi whatsoever. So Neymar and Messi started the Community Shield up front for me. And I thought it was fun. I got the MSN line back up. Messi, Suarez, Neymar. Go for the Uruguayan, go for the other Uruguayan. So mentoring, etc., backups, cup games, so on and so forth. I brought those guys in. Now, sadly, Suarez and Cavani were basically here for like 2 weeks. They joined, I think, 1st November. They retired on the 15th. Just like that, they were done. Messi was good, but like I say, slow. And because he's slow, and we're a counter-attacking team, we're an aggressive, sort of attack-minded, mobile, possession-heavy team. We rely a lot on movement, vision, off the ball, etc. He's really good at all that kind of stuff. But he can't get there. When he was on the ball, he couldn't outrun the defenders. He couldn't make runs in behind. If he dropped deep, then he got caught up because he'd get the ball and a midfielder come back and get him on a counter-attack. Unless he was the person slinging the ball up front, then he couldn't hold on to it or run onto it, anything like that. He just didn't fit. So sadly, that did not work out. Neymar was a little bit better, not much better. Not much better. But a little bit better. Didn't score in the league. 0-5, 0-4 in the cup. Actually hit 6-6 on the continent, though. Europe was where Neymar stepped up a little bit. But like you can see, it was a pretty disappointing session with Neymar. And Messi, like, even worse. Didn't actually score for us. So yeah, didn't play well. Didn't do anything. So I was thinking about converting him into a defensive midfielder, but we have Avdic, we have Camden, a couple other players coming through. Didn't make sense at his age. So more fun with those, just like we had bringing in Joe Allen again and Scott Pollock for a bit of a payday. Maybe the best payday he'll have in his career. So a little bit of fun bringing those in. But really, there's nobody else come in apart from youngsters. 4 free transfer guys that didn't do much in the first team. Were only there for their name value and for shirt sales, really. But we paid enough wages. 200 grand for Messi, 375 for Neymar. Like, Cavani and Suarez were about 20 grand each. They were cheap. But these two are really expensive. So one name comes in after all those. We're going to save that for now. But yeah, Alan Franco goes out. He wanted a new contract. He wanted more money. We kept on turning down bids. He was unhappy. He wanted more money to stay. And so on and so forth. We ended up taking less money than we should have. And less money than we've been offered before. But when I've been trying to get rid of him, he didn't want to go. And no teams would bid for him. Even when he did want to go finally. So it's a bit of a shame. But we got a good career out of Franco. We got a very good career out of Franco. So 2.2 million from Independiente, bit of a steal. Didn't do too great in the first season. He was kind of solid. But as the team sort of improved alongside him, he slowly started getting into things. So a decent second year. Pushes on 7.3, the best year he had for us. Dropped off again then, season 4, season 5. And we started to move him at the team. A huge profit at the end of the day. He goes to Leicester. He's a decent player still. But we kind of outgrew him. And that's a decent return on our investment. Ken McKay, backup left back. We've got Ayinde. He's got a Scottish passport. We don't need another Scottish left back. So McKay goes out. Decent player, not a great player. Big money. Can't argue with that. Philippe Roche came in big at the end of last season with some goals. Decent young player. Got some potential, but will never fulfill it at this club. You know, we had Kulenovic, Muratovic. We signed Derek Herbert last season, who started chipping in with goals, and this season's where he kind of takes over in the first team bit by bit. And our final striker is the player yet to be revealed. Yet to be revealed. But yeah, you might have seen it, but it's big. It's big. So yeah, there's no way you'd make it into the team. Bunch of other people coming out. So Man City put a bid in on a striker. They put a bid in of like 100 million, got turned down. I tried to buy that player over the course of maybe a year, less than a year, maybe 10 months. And I was quoted 180, 200, and it wasn't working out. There were a few players I could have gone for, like Ndiaye, Aziz Ndiaye, I was looking at. But I looked at him and I looked at Muratovic, and I didn't feel the need to like go get him and kick Muratovic out, and I didn't really want to get him in to get rid of Kulenovic, which I think he'd be great as a complete forward. I think he'd be great. And then Herbert started looking really good, and so we didn't want to do that. But they were interested in selling strikers, PSG. So when a bid came in from Man City for 120 million for that player, and it got rejected, I started thinking, well, I may be at the top end of the price that PSG wants. What they're quoting me is like their top end. That might come down. Man City started at 100, went to 120. They might be near the bottom end. So we put a bid in. We put a bid in at 100. And over the months, we kept trying to do it, kept unsettling the player. And we finally got a bid accepted, 134 million, rising to 137. Paid an absolute fortune in wages. And got a striker that makes... It's difficult to say, but you've got to say it, and it's true. That makes Muratovic look second-rate, which makes Kulenovic look third-rate. Like, I haven't had a striker like this in years. And usually it's been a regen striker that's just been absolutely amazing. But no. Man City wanted Mbappe. I was not about to let that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I was not about to let that happen. So I went and put 134 million, rising to 136 currently, possibly 137. I went and put that money on Kylian Mbappe. 14 appearances, 16 goals, 3 assists, 3 Player of the Match awards, 7.87. I haven't had a player this good since Pau Hernandez. This dominant since Pau Hernandez. Maybe Amadeo in previous FMs. Like way back when Pedro Jr., a Brazilian target man I had. But like Mbappe is God tier and well worth the money. Well worth money. It needed to be special to break the £100 million mark. It needed to be special to top Donnarumma. But we did it. And we got our money's worth. Mbappe is a beast. Look at the continent. 7 games. 14 goals. Champions League, 2 a game. 2 a game in the Champions League. 16 and 14 in the league. Like, international, 16 and 19. He blitzed it all year long. 475 grand a week, not quite $500,000. Mbappe is a beast, an absolute beast. Love him, absolutely love him. So we just, like, what is it to say? He's terrible in the air. Okay, who cares? But you look at the striker comparisons there. Muratovic, Herbert, Mbappe, all 5 stars. We've got a great little setup. But yeah, what a boy. What a boy. And that about wraps up the transfers there. So we go on and we go to the Community Shield. And like I say, we played Neymar and Messi, and they played terribly, and Liverpool played well, and we were totally outplayed, and they beat us 2-0. So yet to win the Community Shield. Super Cup. Took extra time. Neymar off the bench, did a bit of business. We scored through Muratovic. Gabi Jesus with a goal. Neymar just got us out of that one. We played the kids against Man United in the Cup. They almost won. You know, we lost to a Pizarro goal. Wow, we got another phone call. 1 second, I'll be back. Okay, we're back. Nobody answered the phone. I answered the phone. Nobody replied, so. Been getting a lot of those lately. But yeah, like I say, we, didn't really care about that game. Yeah, let's take them in order, I guess. So, World Club Cup. We're up against Setif. Decent team. Herbert gets us off to a good start. Kind of a quiet first half. They were quite defensive, tough to break down. They get a man sent off, sadly. And not a bad player either. So, when that happens, I go for gold. I throw people forward. Herbert gets a second. Sarah from deep. And Klaas at right back with a good finish. Love to see that from the young lad. And then in the final against Gremio, Phil Foden, second half. After a disappointing first half, fired them up. But he goes out, Muratovic gets a goal, Robles gets a goal, our captain, and Derek Herbert once again with a late goal. Just smashing in the net. You can see how quickly he starts coming into the team at that stage. In the FA Cup, Gotsev and Kulenovic at this point pretty much moved to the bench to accommodate Herbert a little bit. And he gets a goal. Gotsev again over Man United's reserve team. With our reserve team in Tom Kempton with the other goal. Against Liverpool, Kula scores. We bring on Herbert from the bench because Muratovic got a little knock. Abel Ruiz scores against us again, but Herbert with a quick-fire double and sends Liverpool packing. In the 6th round, Kula early on, Fries, and then young David Waters. Good young striker. Kind of our 4th choice right now. Yeah, not bad at all, really. But, it's a nice little goal sort of late on in this game. It's a nice goal at the late on in the first half against Reading. But like I say, Gomez, Muratovic, Waters again, Richarlison, not bad. And then in the final, away to Huddersfield, Derek Herbert, 3 goals, and Reich from the back. You can see the new guys starting to take over the team. Like, Kula got us where we needed to go. Herbert's now taking over. Muratovic took us where we needed to go. Mbappe's now making this his team. So we're transitioning out the strike force. And the rest of the team, little bits here and there, slowly starting to change. But that's pretty much all the cups. If we look at the Champions League, tough little group. Real Madrid, we go there. We get the first goal, Derek Herbert. Jordi equalises Soto, and then Sandro Kolenovic late on puts the game to rest. At home against Sporting, Herbert and Neymar gets his chance. He scores 3 against Sporting. Away to Bâle, let's class, Lewis Fry, pair of English youngsters who look pretty good. I'm very happy with that. Serra, Herbert hits a double. Soto comes on and scores against Bâle there late on in the game. We close up that without any issues. Real Madrid at home. Neymar hits a double against Real again. Boys enjoying Europe. Jordi, bit of a pain, but, you know, we did okay. And then Sporting away from home. Gotsev, Muratovic with a late winner. We perfect our group. PSV, tough a couple of years ago. Not so tough anymore. One of the first big games where Mbappe announced himself since that late signing. Muratovic hits a goal. Then Mbappe's penalty, Mbappe's first half hat-trick. Second half, Muratovic is on one. Mbappe scores on 58. Hat-trick for Muratovic on 60. And Mbappe late on. Absolutely terrifying having those two lads run at you. Unbelievable. In the reverse leg, we kind of rotated out the squad. Derek Herbert, Rui Gomez. Kounders, not bad, gets a goal, but that sees them off. Muratovic, Mbappe with a goal, then a penalty, sees Man United put to bed. Away from home, Derek Herbert gets a goal. Campo gets sent off. We kind of stall out that game. We know we've got the away goal. We know they need 5. We shut the game down. We get out of it. You love to see a performance when you're down to 10 men. So, sad from a Campo there, but the rest of the team put themselves together. I kind of went a bit mad at a Campo, and we, playing the entire second half, knowing that, yeah, we're 4-0 up, but we're down 10 men away from home against a very good Man United team. There's every chance. We sit back, they just dominate us. We push forward a little bit, they use the odd man against us, the extra man advantage, and just dominate us, really. So, it was a very tricky thing, and I got so mad at Ocampo, and he told me he thought he wasn't to blame, and I decided this would be his last season. I was ready to transition away from him, and yeah, that kind of behaviour, just not going to cut it at this club. And then Real Madrid, semi-final at home. We've already seen him hit 5 sort of against PSV in a knockout round. But Jordi, third time in 3 games, Jordi fucking scored against us. Great little striker, don't get me wrong. Great striker. But it doesn't matter. 6 minutes later, Mbappe. And okay, the game cools down, half-time. I tell them I believe in them. I tell them to go out and win this game. It takes a while, but we slowly wear, this great Real Madrid team down. 64, 73, 89th, 91st. Kylian Mbappe with another 5 goals. Absolutely storming it. Smashing teams left and right. And when he hasn't, in some other games, Neymar's come up big. Hat-trick there, pair there. He's doing little bits as our 4th choice striker. Or 5th choice striker, maybe, at this stage. But yeah. And then second leg, we play a B team. Lewis Fry, the kid of dreams. Penalty win in the final. for the 6th penalty in the shootout against Bayern Munich for our first Champions League, and now to set us up for a possible hat-trick of Champions Leagues, 2 late goals away to Real Madrid, just to make sure there's no funny business. If they'd have scored in the 82nd minute, then realistically, they just needed another 3. And it's a big ask, but like 3 in 10 minutes, with a team like theirs, it could have happened. So, luckily, we shut them down. Fry got his double. We get out of it. And then Champions League final. 7 or so fucking seconds into the game, we gift Dele Alli a fucking goal. And I'm thinking, like, what's going on? Like, I'm really thinking what's going on at this point. And then Mbappe comes up big and he gets a goal back. And I'm starting to think, okay, maybe we'll be okay. And then, like, 7-8 seconds into the second half, almost identical goal for fucking Dele Alli. And I am livid. I'm livid at this point. Absolutely livid. I make some changes tactically, roles, duties, players, position. I do it all. Now, unfortunately, Santi Sebastian, good striker, sort of tormented us at United for a few years before going to Barca. He gets their 3rd goal. We're 3-1 down with 30 minutes left. And I'm fuming because Dele Alli's just been allowed to basically pick his fucking goals. He's been able to run where he wants to, do what he wants to. He's had a couple of great shots, but they shouldn't have been opportunities. And I'm livid that we weren't switched on at the start of the second half after watching him do it a few seconds in to the first half. So at this point, I'm fuming. We throw people up front. Lewis Fry's 77 minutes gets us back to it, back to within 1. We're back in the game. Late on, Derek Herbert comes up huge. The young kid with a fantastic goal. 3 minutes from time, takes us into extra time. And then I'm thinking, okay, we've played so badly, but we've done so well. The only problem is we've got 2 more kickoffs. We've got 2 more halves. Extra time and the second half extra time. If we let Dele Alli score, I'm gonna flip a lid. Luckily, didn't happen. 115th minute. It's your boy Mbappe back once again. Of course he'd get the game winner. Of course he'd take us to the promised land. A hat-trick of Champions League trophies. Absolutely fantastic. You can't stop him. You just can't stop him. And that was the real world-class quality at the top of the team. Donnarumma was the real class at the bottom of the team. We had Serra and Soto and Avdic and some other players like Robles, and we had a great team. But what was really missing was world-class game-changing talent at the back and up top. Donnarumma, £92 million, or 93 million. 134 million for Mbappe. Lots of money, but those two really secured us as the best team in the world. I fully believe that. I firmly believe that. And although I don't like spending big wages or big money on transfer fees and signing on fees, I did it, and I did it on the right players. Phil Foden at 51 million. Rough beginning, but really came good. Donnarumma, 92 million. Solid, not spectacular, but solid, and good get out of jail free card at the back. And 134, probably going to rise to 137, but 136 at the minute for Mbappe. And boy, did we get my money's worth there. Boy, did you get the money's worth right there. And then on to the league. We were chasing a hat-trick of titles here. Again, Kula with a penalty. Herbert gets off to a good start. 2 counter-attack goals, 2 almost identical goals. Man United just put us to bed nice and easily there. Herbert, big hat-trick. Good performance from the boys. Second half, not much first half. Stoke, we couldn't break down. Liverpool, Derek Herbert up with a double before Rafa gets a goal. And you can see how important Herbert became this season. Like I said, he really took over. Muratovic, Kalinovic there. Muratovic with a double, Kalinovic, Camden with a goal after they went down to 10 men. And then starts this worrying run. 2-2 against Arsenal. 1-1 with Avdic sent off against Everton. 1-1 with a late goal rescued by Kalinovic against Brighton. 2-2 with a late comeback, including a weird own goal from Donnarumma against Man City. And 1-1 at home to a very defensive Leicester City, having to come from behind. For a team that is as good as ours, that is a very worrying run of games. Very worrying run of games. Luckily, we stayed unbeaten. Luckily, we didn't get too many goals against. In that run as well, Herbert got us a win against Watford, and he got 2 against Villa to get us out of jail as well. So, not bad. A few goals there for him, and we rotate out a little bit along the way as well, but it was rough. But let me get back to winning ways. Herbert with an early goal. Muratovic with a penalty. They immediately go down the other end and get a goal back, but we hold on. Sarah Muratovic step up against Chelsea. We get some good luck there against Burnley, but we dominate the game. We dominate Derby. We can't break them down. Gotsev gets me the goal right at the end of the game there. A former player, Alexander Brow. He is good, but not great. And when we sold him for 29 million, I was thinking, is that a mistake? When he scored so many goals early on in his career, I thought, is that a mistake? He was basically like 11 goals in 15 games or something. Now, over the course of the season, that stopped, and then he really kind of struggled in the following seasons until this last year when he starts picking back up again. I don't know what changed for him, but on that left wing, he was absolutely deadly. So we sold him. He almost comes back here to haunt us, but Muratovic and Herbert quickly get us back into things. Mbappe and Herbert. We now got Kylian Mbappe. Opens up on his debut against Man United. Great to see. Second game. Declan Lana gets sent off for Stoke. Mbappe's right in. Einreich from the back. 2 late goals. Put a gloss on a good game. But Mbappe's 2 from 2. Herbert takes over then. Hat-trick against Fulham in a 9-0 win. Sarah, Foden, Sota, Muratovic with a pair. Avdic with a goal. Away to Southampton, Philip Serra took over the game. Luckily, because the strikers weren't playing well. They also took the night off against Liverpool. Salah's early goal was cancelled out by a penalty from Soto, but we couldn't get much going. We managed to get a late winner away to Spurs. Again, they played very defensively, kind of like Leicester with the 9 men in the box. Herbert finally breaks them down. Mbappe with a pair against Bournemouth. Good goals all round. They lose a man late on. Everton, Mbappe's on penalty duties. He grabs another goal. Away to Watford, Mbappe hits a hat-trick. We've got Mbappe back on the score sheet again. Foden chipping in. Muratovic with a pair. Pretty decent there. Verratti, good player. Brighton building a really good team. And then, away to Aston Villa. Jack Grealish sent off. He did it against PSV. He did it against Real Madrid. He did it against Aston Villa away. 3 times this season, Mbappe hit 5. 3 times this season, he hit 5. 35, 47, 68, 73. Herbert chips in with a goal, and then a late penalty from Mbappe. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. He gets the early goal against Man City. Herbert follows up with another one. Declan Rice gets sent off. And Herbert at the end of the first half, then they shut up shop, trying to limit damage. Nketiah with a late goal, but Robles and Muratovic pay dividends for us late on. Soto had given us the lead. We beat Arsenal. We smashed through with a B team over Reading, which now does continue to feature Kalenovic. He's now firmly out of the first team. Phil Foden against Chelsea, then Muratovic, but Aarons comes up big. Mbappe straight back into it, and then Erb sent off. B team again. Zitek, 34 minutes. The left back. Pretty good left back, but not really a goal scorer. And then, if you look here, Ashley Blackburn, young striker. One for the future, but comes on, takes a penalty, and absolutely smashes it for a debut goal for him. Good win there. Pair for Herbert over Leicester. The second one coming right after their goal, by the way, 51-53, so very good to see. Origi with a goal for West Ham, but Almir has already hit his hat-trick there. And then we finish off with a young David Waters and a Kalenovic goal. And sad to say, but that is the last goal that Kalenovic actually scores for us. We did sell him out to Arsenal. He goes the way of Duvon, but 65 million, so 4.1 million there. I think 15 Premier League goals, we got our 4.1 million. And then he continues just to do bits all year long. Slowly transitions out to the team. Still, decent strike rate, one every other game, basically. But we decide to move him on. We've got Mbappe. We've got other people in like Herbert now. We've got some young players. So, sad to say, but that final game of the season is the final goal that Kalenovic will score for us. And young David Waters, again, young striker who really is there for depth right now. So, very happy with all that. We rolled up then on the season, 17 points, our biggest advantage. 98 goals for. We couldn't quite get the 100 goal mark. I was looking for it. 22 goals, a couple more than last season, but still a very, very good achievement indeed. Really, really pleased with the boys this season. By far and away the best performance we've ever had. And yeah, realistically, there's nothing left to play for on this save. When you play this well, when you win 3 Champions Leagues, 3 Premier Leagues in a row, when you've got Donnarumma in goals, Mbappe up top, and a plethora of world-class regens in midfield, defense, and more coming through the youth system. I don't know. I just didn't feel it would be interesting any longer. So that's where it is. And then let me just pull something up quickly. And okay, the final thing to really round up in this save, as well as the save itself, is the final trophy. The final trophy was a big one. And we're literally just after that game. That's why we're where we're at in this save. It says full match details are not available, but that's rubbish. We can go to the match itself. But yeah, this is our team with our new starting right back, Les Class, a touch of class at right back. Taking over from Ocampo, does really well. Donnarumma in goal. You can see he does very good job for us. Centre-back partnership of Enrique and Diego Robles. We've trained them both to use their weak foot. So, they're not as sort of similar because they were both left only at one point. So right now, they're both left, but we can fit them into the team a little bit better. We actually went with Tyler Barrett, the young left back. He was quite decent there. So, youngster in at left back. Avdic in midfield, controlling the game. 8 years at the club, still only 23. What a signing he was. 10 million as a 15-year-old. Tom Kempton came into the team, looks pretty dang special as well. Lewis Fry came into the team. And Soto as well, our magic man. Absolutely fantastic. Strike force up front to begin with was Herbert and Mbappe, but Muratovic came on. Great player, Mbappe there. The players taken off Herbert, like I say, up front with Mbappe, did a really good job. Serra, he got taken off for Fry, I believe, in midfield. Foden off for Camden, I think. And I moved people about then. Yeah, Foden off for Camden. Yeah, I moved people about in midfield a little bit. But great player. Ayinde, great player. And then we got some more on the bench as well. But a big win. A big day. Didn't have it all our own way. Got a little bit of luck sort of along the way as well. But we deserved the win, and it is our final ever thing. So here's the first goal. Soto up to Mbappe. Back there, Herbert across the goalkeeper. Slots it into the far post. Absolutely love that. Class over to Herbert. Foden back to Herbert, back to Class. Left-footed up. Mbappe goes for it. Holds back. Doesn't go for it in the end. Unless Class gets that goal. Lovely ball through there from Class. Mbappe picks it up. Drives that one into the far corner. Now we're 3-0 up. Coming to the end of the first half. Weird sort of crossing back to Dalot, and then suddenly they've got a goal. And then end of the first half, Martial down this left flank. Again with a lovely curling ball. Dybala with an absolutely fantastic goal. Down now to a 1-goal advantage. 3-2. Ball up wide. Pizarro in. Far post. Anthony Martial. 3-all. And I'm starting to panic. All our good work. But Class wins it. Herbert down the flank. We've seen that from Kalenovic. Mbappe steals in. Crisis averted. Nerve settled. Lovely stuff. Herbert again on the right flank. Drives in. Soto down to Avdic. Felipe Serra drives it past Petrovic in net. And things are now back to where we need them to be. 5-3 up. Herbert. Far post. Mbappe kicks it out of his feet, drives it into the goal. They're down to 10 men at this point. It's 6. Mbappe out to the left wing. Barrett in. Fry with a bit of acrobatics. Can't quite get it, but it falls to Muratovic. Slots it in the net late on. And then right at the end, Muratovic here after a throw-in. Back to Fry. Down for Soto. Ball is spilled. Mbappe gets number 4. Couldn't quite get the 5 goals. We're looking for that 4th 5-goal haul from him, but couldn't quite get there. But overall, a really good performance. And like I say, it is mainly for being the one trophy that we were yet to win. If you look at our manager profile, you'll see that we are quite adventurous. We play a 4-1-3 to DM narrow. We don't really have a second formation. I'm still not 5-star reputation. I don't know why. Hat-trick of Premier League titles. Hat-trick of Champions League titles. But apparently, I'm still only 90% reputation. Not really sure what else I've got to do, but okay. It is what it is, I guess. Our contract that we finished on was 125 grand a week. 5-year deal. We still got a decent amount. We're only 1 year into that. Relationships. Andre Ayew, Bielsa, and Conceição do not like us. Jardim, Rogers, Cook, Jordan Ayew, and Solskjaer, they're lukewarm. A bunch of people, though, are very, very close. Some former staff members, some former players, some current players, just unbelievable. Some agents and journalists there as well. We got on well with a few of those towards the end. But that's not too bad. So if you look at the overview, 2,738 days at a club, 24 awards. We earned nearly 20 million across our career. Absolutely fantastic. 160 players bought for 648 million. We sold 31 extra players for basically half the amount of money that we sold. No, I confused myself there. So we made about 500 million and we gained a bunch of players. So we sold Sanchez for 78 million. Our highest sale was Renato Sanchez to Barcelona. As you can see, he comes in from Bayern Munich on loan. In real life, doesn't do anything for us. A little bit disappointed. He goes back to Bayern in game, does okay. Opportunity comes up. I sign him driving, sort of box-to-box midfielder, and it works really well. So 32.5 million there. You know, he doesn't perform ecstatically, but he's my engine room. He's breaking up play rather than being a big force, attacking-minded in the game. While my young defensive midfielders couldn't do it, he did it a bit further forward, really. More like a ball winner that supported attacks. Then we sell him for big money, and so on. But, yeah, he's an important cog in the machine. We paid 100 million to agents on the dot. I can't believe that. But Mbappe absolutely bossed it. Like I said, he's our great player up top. 12 cups, 4 leagues, 1 promotion. 66% win ratio. That is 264 from 398 games. 64 draws, 70 losses. 829 for, 400 against. That is huge. We did absolutely huge. And you can see we finished in the championship in 16th place in our first season. We won the league in our second season with a bunch of Manager of the Month and Manager of the Year awards. 8th place in the Premier League the first season. Straight up into second. Manager of the Year, Manager of the Month. Manager of the Month twice. Manager of the Year, Manager of the Month a bunch of times in those seasons. We won the Carabao, Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League. We won the Carabao, Premier League, Champions League, Super Cup and World Cup. We didn't get the FA Cup that year. We win them all apart from the Carabao then, the next season. And then we win the Community Shield finally this final season. But absolutely fantastic. So much fucking stuff. We're not going to go through all of that because it's just absolutely crazy. But yeah, this is our first team then. And not only is this our first team, but our second 11 is the rest of our first team squad. So we're going to just go through and have a look roughly. We've had a look at the first team. But I want to have a look at them in a bit more depth. So if you look here, first team, 4-star, 4-star, 4-star. That's okay. Like some 4.5 stars and then 5 stars. Robel, Serres, Herbert, and Mbappe. Absolutely magic. But Donnarumma. So world-class goalkeeper. Fantastic for us since he came in. 2 good seasons. You know, kept some clean sheets. Really did a good job for us. And I don't know. Like, I could probably have got in someone else cheaper to do a similar job, but pay for the best and know what you're going to get at the end of the day. So I'm very happy to have done what I did there. Les Class, 22-year-old, starting right back. Englishman, 4 caps. He's only just been capped by his country. Pretty good all-round kind of player. We like him a lot. Since he's been at the club all the way back, sort of 5 years ago as a 17-year-old, we spent 1.3 on him from Tottenham. Few games here and there. Slowly sort of, you know, feeling his way in and around the team. Then last season, he played a big part sort of off the bench. We decided to commit to him a bit more sort of for this season onwards. But the last 2 years, he's been off the bench getting some good game time. I didn't look at Donnarumma's, but yeah, you look at this, it's like, his con is he can't head the ball. Okay, that's fine. So many good things, but he can't head a ball. I don't care. He's solid, he's responsible, he's good going forward. He offers everything we want to do. Quick look at Donnarumma. He's one-footed, and he's not a core member of the social groups. That's fine. But again, just absolutely fantastic. Alexander Enrich, big player at the back, 7 million. He's wanted by the big boys in Spain. He's not going anywhere. He's only 20, 200 grand a week. Looks like an absolute madman. Him and Robles are phenomenal. We look here. We signed him as like a 15-year-old or something. Had to wait till he was 18 to actually join us. He broke into the Freiburg team and did bits for them. He comes into our team and immediately starts playing well last year. And then this final season, he did bits again. Absolutely fantastic. We look at his reports again. Can only play one position. He's not great at passing. Centre-back, I don't worry. He's absolutely phenomenal elsewhere. 20 years of age, him and Robles will be an absolute dream team at the back for me. Talking of Robles, our captain, just phenomenal. Real Madrid are after him as well. 25 now, 250 grand a week. Still pretty cheap, I think, in places for him. But a really, really good player. 3.1 million, we bought him like 5 years ago as well. From River Plate, who bought him off for Estudiantes. Some decent sort of games there. When he came to us, he was ready to play almost immediately. Really hit the ground running. Big season in year 2. Year 3 was okay. Year 4, he sort of upped his rating. This last year, now year 5, he really stepped up as captain, as leader. Did everything we asked of him, and so much more. What a bargain he's been. And in fact, the pair of them, for like 3 million and like 7 million, like roughly about 11 million between the pair. Probably a signing on fees close to, but not quite up to, 14 million. World-class centre-backs. Ayinde, he's got the Scottish passport. He is an EU member. He is a British member, which helps with Brexit, of course. Again, looks absolutely fantastic. Player of the year so many years early on. Until Kalenovic took on that mantle, he kind of really stepped up. As a freebie, absolutely fantastic. Never posted below 7. He's kept his place in the team. He's never complained. He's been a great player for us all the way through his career. We absolutely adore Ayinde. Poor first touch, meh. Everything else, absolutely phenomenal. Consistent as hell. Steps up, does the business week in, week out. Gets some goals, gets forward. PSG want him, but I wouldn't sell him. Like, to have Donnarumma as the oldest member of that back 5, and possibly the worst member of the back 5, if you believe the star ratings, it's kind of interesting. It's interesting. He's almost the least paid as well, which is also kind of interesting. Avdic, 10 million as a 15-year-old. What a player he turned into. 7 goals in 38 games for Germany. Beast. Just a beast. Real, Barca, at it again. They want my players. They want my players. But again, since we bought him, good in the Championship. Not great in that season in the Premier League. But he's slowly started to become a first-team member at 16. We kind of pull him back out and rotate him more. The ratings get better. He's ready then when we push him back in finally at age like 18, 19. He's starting to come into a first-team role. Does a good job. Rotates out. But, yeah, we really like Avdic a lot. He offers a lot going forward. And he cleans up so well at the back. He can't jump. He's 5'8". Who cares? Defensive midfielder. Everything else is great. Relish's big match is consistent. So many good things. He does take set pieces as well. He's pretty decent at those. So we love Avdic to pieces. Soto, my first world-class player. Chelsea are interested. Barcelona have been trying to tap him up. Real Madrid, PSG, everybody's been trying to tap him up. £6 million. Like, since day one, he's been doing bits for us. You love to see it. You love to see a guy come in and just absolutely kill it. He's going to be here for his career, pretty much. He runs in one direction. That's fine. We don't really care. He's a Mazzala, which kind of gets him away from his man and into free space. So I think that limits the damage this weakest attribute can do. But yeah, he is our vice captain. He is very, very good. Welsh second nationality. He did gain a passport towards the end. Phil Foden as well, the weakest member of the outfield team, apart from right back, but again, does a really good job. We like what he's been able to do. And after a slow start, he ramped up towards the end of the season. Consistent back-to-back seasons, fairly similar numbers all the way through. Improved in the Cups, improved on the continent, improved internationally. Really good player for us. We could possibly improve there, but yeah, as the cheapest member of the first team, I think that fits his role quite perfectly. Sarah, 28 million. What a signing he turned out to be as well. Him and Soto together again. Barcelona, we know the drill. They can't find their own players, so they look at my team. But yeah, really, really good. Porto bought him cheap, made their profit. Didn't really play him in the meantime. But again, since day one, he came in, put his head down, and got to business. In fact, that is his best season all round. This past year comes quite close, but consistent again all 4 years. Fairly similar ratings, fairly similar in terms of goals, assists, few man of the match awards. He's, almost always available. We love him. We love him. And yeah, can't cross the ball, but again, centre midfielder, don't really care. Everything else is great. He's consistent. He's just a player that you can count on week in, week out. Derek Herbert, 26 million, I think, for this guy. Just everything the Cooler did for us, he does for us. Real after him. Chelsea are also interested. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, 26 million from Brighton. A decent first season. And then this year, really stepped up. Him and Mbappe kind of took over. 22 and 30 in the league. 37 in all competitions. What a player he's turning out to be. And yeah, him and Mbappe could be scary up front together. 18 caps, 8 goals. That's a very good return. He might be the top goal scorer for England at the end of his career. Only 23 at the moment. Tons of time ahead of him. And then 27 again, him and Donnarumma. It's that boy Mbappe. Godly, just godly. Like, we've talked enough about Mbappe. We don't, just amazing. And then on to the bench players. So, Mikkel Forss, my backup goalkeeper. Really good young goalkeeper. 21-year-old Danish lad. Pretty decent. He's played okay. Kept some clean sheets in each of the last 3 seasons. Got him from rounders for quite cheap. And again, he's one-footed. That's his only weakness. Everything else, pretty good. He's a Premier League player. So, young goalkeeper, 21 years of age, as backup. He'll take over from Donnarumma. I think that'll be seamless. He can be just as good. My backup right back is young Eddie Creamer. Doesn't look amazing, but he's good enough for backup. Brought him in from Wrexham. Sent him out on loan last year to Yeovil in League 2. He did bits. He's on the bench this year for us. And again, okay, he's a championship player, but we can afford to kind of stick down. Doesn't get rough. He's more of a kind of cerebral player. We like that. He's consistent. He does a good job. We protect our fullbacks. So, nice to have a young Welsh lad in there. There's a few of them starting to break in with slowly sort of getting some players in. Centre-back, young Scot, Kevin McGowan. Again, not great, but he could develop into something. He's got potential. He's done okay so far. He's only really sort of joined us recently. He's not really broken into the first team yet, but he's been called up for this year to the first team squad to try and get those more British feel to the squad. But again, quite cheap from Ross County. We like him a lot. And he's been waiting. He's got the 5-star potential. He could be right up there. We like that. Again, another championship player, but again, he is consistent. So, We don't mind that. Zaferovic, definitely my main backup at centre-back. We had a quick look at him earlier. 2-footed, tall, strong, good all-round. Nothing really to worry about. Cheap, does the business. Reliable sort of cover. Again, you can see there's nothing really to worry about. Yeah, a no-brainer really to have. Tyler Barrett, great physicals, developing really well. 20-year-old Englishman. 50k from Middlesbrough. Again, he played some time. He played in the Champions League final off the bench. Did bits. And he looks like a good player. Again, poor technique, but really there's nothing to worry about there from him. He's a really good backup. Tom Kempton, we know about Tom Kempton. Should be a first-team player. We've got too many good midfielders. He doesn't quite fit in. Free transfer right at the start of the game. Yeah, I don't know why that's there and why that's... I don't know. FM does these weird things sometimes. But he didn't feature for a long time. You know, played under-19s, played reserves, slowly got a few opportunities, testing him out. Could see there he wasn't ready, goes out to the championship, 44 games, almost a 7 rating. It's time to bring him in. Does okay. Off the bench, slowly starting to turn into a first-team player. Slowly starting to turn into the player we think he can be. And he does have the potential. So, he can't cross, he doesn't dribble greatly. But again, he is, you know, a great player who doesn't back down from a challenge. He just so happens, though, to be in a bit of a mix here for first-team football. Lewis Fry is there along with him. Chad Joseph's not too far behind him. We'll see those guys right now. But first, another young Welshman, Ian Passmore. We've been trying to get him in. Good technique, good vision, decent physicals. Really a decent young Welsh midfielder. And yeah, we've been trying to get him into the team for a while. He is actually a player that spawned at the club. He is a regen who came in through the youth intake. Again, didn't do much for us. Slowly introduced him, tested him a little bit. Now he's there for cover mainly and for some cup games in this upcoming season. But I wanted to get the Welsh boys in. So Creamer, Passmore, you see Waters up there a little bit later as well. Lewis Fry, though, another great player who's missing a couple of things mentally, maybe. He's still young, he might get there, but he's already scored the winning penalty in sudden death in the Champions League final. Like, he's already had his career highlight. So, Colchester, our feeder club, 575 grand. Didn't do anything for us that first year. We sent him out on loan. He did really well in the championship. We kept him down in the reserves to get more training, development, a few PPMs and traits and whatnot to get him ready, and then slowly introduced him in that season. Slowly introduced him as more of a sub along the way as well. So he's slowly getting into it. If Foden wasn't here, Fry would be a first-time player. But Foden's just a bit better. Chad Joseph, like I say, 36 million is a lot of money, but a lot of player for that. Our backup midfield looks absolutely fantastic. From the moment he arrived, he did well for us. You know, a little bit less good last season, but he'll get some chances. And we'll slowly transition away from Soto and Sarah. We'll be able to get Kempton in the team. We'll be able to get Fry in the team. We'll be able to get Passmore in the team. Faze, Avdic and Foden out as well. So we know what we've got. In midfield, we've got the replacements that'll fit really well and are almost ready to do so. In the back line, it's a bit younger. They're a bit less ready. Zaferovic maybe can push out Robles in 3 years' time. Creamer in for class in 3 years' time. Yeah, 3 years maybe for Barrett over Inde, and McGowan probably won't push Enrique out in 3 years. It's probably more 5 years. Probably more 5 years. Now, it's probably 3 years for Farge to pick up the start over Donnarumma as well. So really, apart from McGowan, because Enric's so good so early, it's going to be difficult to push him up. But the other four could be replaced quite decently. This entire midfield four in 2 to 3 years could replace my midfield. And then the strikers. I mean, I don't see them replacing Mbappe or Herbert anytime soon. Muratovic kind of on his way out the club, but third Welshman in and amongst the first team. Looks really good. Again, he came through the club, youth prospect that we signed up. Got a little bit of a look, didn't do too much. Got a little bit of a look there, didn't do too much. Did okay in the Cups. Scored a goal for Wales. Another championship player, but again, consistency. We look for consistency if we can find it, as well as decent determination from our youngsters. So 17-year-old David Waters could be a long-term option up front. And then Muratovic, what a boy. Barca, Real, you know the drill. But again, what a boy he's been for us. Absolutely fantastic. When we lost Arp, we managed to get him for 15.5, thanks to a release clause. We tried signing him way back when. We couldn't get that deal. However, we do get that deal later on. And as I say, that first season, 21 league goals, 27 in all competitions. He just dominated. 21 there, but he scored more in other competitions, 34 total. He dipped off here with 15 in the league, but upped on the continent and whatnot, bring his total back up to 24. And they're 20 in the league, 28 in all competitions. So, again, he's been used quite a lot, but 4 years in the first team, 4 years alongside Kalinovic. He saw off the challenge of a 31-year-old Neymar. He saw off the challenge of a lot of players. But he can't see off the challenge of Mbappe. And Herbert is Kalinovic's replacement. So, we round out this save. I say, Kalinovic went out. Who else went out? Lacazette as a backup, decent player. Tsatsikis, decent player. Clarkson, decent young fullback. But I felt we had other options. Nikolic went back out to his club. Rui Gomez, again, I wanted to bring in some of those British players, so he had to leave to make way. Zaferovic goes on the bench then, as does the young Scotsman. Ocampo out for big money. That brings through Les Class. Allows me to bring Creamer through as backup. Zitek as backup. He can go out. Gotsev can finally go out and allow us to bring through the midfielders like Passmore. Kalinovic, as I say, that gives me Waters up front as well there. So, a free transfer, Louis Baxter. He didn't turn out to be anything. We got rid of him. Miskmin, we got rid of him. Again, we just had to bring them in to see what they were like because they were available for free, but they wouldn't come in on trial. And then Santiago Ceres, like the third young player from Argentina, the third young River Plate player that we've managed to grab really cheaply, who could be a world-class player. So we'll see if he develops, but bit of a long-term prospect, that one. Again, a championship player, but pretty decent all-round. We'll see. So overall, like I say, we still got a youngster coming in, Stuart Cullen, young Englishman, 20 potential. He might make it. Andy Pratt, another young English central defender. And Ross McDermott, another high determination English central defender. So we're trying to get those young British players through. But that's the squad. If we look at the under-23s and the under-18s, plenty more young players to come through. So at left back, we've got John Wood, we've got Joe Rogers, and we've got Shaq Douglas, all of which are listed at 5-star. I really wanted to see if we could find a new left back. So when Ayinde leaves, we're not really struggling. Ryan Bell, Paul Carter in midfield. Again, Carter's someone I really, really like. He might make it. Chandler Purdy, as well as those guys bringing in. Sort of good defensive prospects there. So we like them a lot. And Paul Taylor, a young goalkeeper. So if the Danish lad doesn't work out on the bench, Forge, we might get Taylor into the team. Apart from that, McBride up top, very good prospect. Aging a bit, might not make his potential. And then a bunch of other players. But as you can see, apart from Cedez, who I believe is in the... Yeah, he's in the under-20 squad to go to the Olympics. So we'll see how he performs out there. But apart from him, everybody outside the first team is from one of the home nations. Bunch of English players. A Greek player, but he is English. As you can see, he was actually born in Hartlepool. So he counts. Some Northern Irish lads. Some Republic of Ireland lads. Scotsmen, a couple of Welsh guys. Just that one Argentinian there. But again, the deal was probably too good not to do. We still got two Argentinians. We've got the Danish lad on the bench. We've got a bunch of English players. Mbappe, okay. The three Germans who I'm excited about. We've had good luck with Germans in this save. Donnarumma. Then you've got Ayinde, who's got a Scottish passport. Serra's from Portugal. We've got McGowan, the Scots lad. Muratovic is Serbian. And three Welsh lads there. Now, I don't know who else got a Welsh passport. So, Avdic is Welsh. As well as German, he is Welsh. Ayinde is Scottish. He's always had that. Barrett, of course, is English. Cream is Welsh. Donnarumma might never get a British passport, but we don't mind. Zaferovic only just joined. He probably will before his time's done. Enrique as well. He's only just joined, but he'll get it before he's done. Ferge, if he keeps in the first team when we get rid of Donnarumma, he'll get his passport. Otherwise, like I said, we've got the young English lad Taylor to come in. Got Phil Foden, Fry, Herbert, all English. Chad Joseph, Kempton, class as well. Mbappe will never get a British passport, I don't think. Gowan is Scottish. You can see here by the end of the year if we kept him, but we're probably going to sell Muratovic, to be honest with you, and just try and go more and more British. Muratovic could be in that mix. I believe as well. Yeah, well, we're at it. Kula did get his Welsh passport as well. Passmore, of course, is Welsh. Robles, by the end of this year, our captain will be Welsh, as will Philip Serra. Soto already is. David Waters, of course, is as well. So, yeah, a few players might not. Like, he might not because we might sell him. He might be too old. He might be too old. We're probably going to sell him, but he will get it anyway. And apart from that, everybody else should have it very soon. Like, they'll take a little while. They'll take a few years, but they're only 20. They will get it. So technically, players that will be British during their time at this club, apart from the four highlighted, they're pretty much British. We've got one youngster who is Argentinian without a British passport. So we're moving in the right direction there. We might just complete it by getting rid of those four. But we're going to get our money's worth out of Mbappe first, I think. So that was a Swansea save. That was basically what happened. We got relegated in real life. We rebuilt that season, just like I did in game. We move up. We get, the league win. We started this season well, but probably not going to win the league. And then just overachieving all the way. Hat-trick of league wins, hat-trick of Champions League wins. Absolutely fantastic. 54,000 seaters capacity. I think that's somehow broken because I don't think it should be that high. But somehow it got up to there. I'm not complaining. But I would like a new ground so I can get my name on it. We do have the money to go do that. As a club, we are the number one in the world. We got the best facilities in the world. We're still apparently paying the council rent. I don't know. We've got Aberdeen in Scotland as a feeder club. Colchester in League One as a feeder club. And then in Ireland, we got UCD. So we'll get some good Irish youngsters through there as well. Some Scottish youngsters. We get the English ourselves, but Colchester and these two, basically. That's good to bring in good youngsters. Gil Vicente, again, get some good Portuguese youngsters. There's been some good clubs out of there. Bulgaria, it got us Gotsev. If it doesn't get us anything else, that was well worth it. Again, they've got a good setup. We'll be able to do some stuff there. And then money coming in from Japan in Gamba Osaka and Austin Bold. The Texans chipping in for us, which not too far away from Austin. I'm outside Dallas, Texas, so it's pretty much a local link up there. I would like an Argentinian and a German club. I think we're at our limit pretty much. Yeah, I'd probably swap these two for Argentinian and German. But we let the stream decide, and they picked a lot of these for us, so I can't really complain. So 3 Champions Leagues, 3 Premier Leagues, 2 FIFA Club World Cups, 2 UEFA Super Cups, 2 FA Cups, a Sky Bet Championship, 3 Carabao Cups, 1 of which we won in real life. The League 1 we won in real life. The League 2 we won in real life. The Czech Trade Trophies we won in real life. All the other stuff, apart from that Community Shield, and 1 of those Carabao Cups. Everything else from there down was won in real life. But in-game, it's a Community Shield, 2 Carabao Cups, a Championship, there's 2 FA Cups, 2 Super Cups, 2 World Cups, 3 Premier Leagues, 3 Champions Leagues. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Like, I just don't know. We couldn't have done any more. We've had a board takeover. The Scots are in charge. We've got 305 million to spend. We've got 1.5 million extra wage budget if we wanted to. There's 277 million in the bank. At our peak, we were 475 million in the bank. So we could probably get a new stadium. We could probably do some bits there. World-class staff as well. Just absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I think I've been very lucky and very happy with what we've been able to do and how we've been able to do it. We still got Adrian Tucker. He is a Swansea goalkeeping coach, or has been. So he is still at the club. Apart from that, Alan Tate still coaching the under-18s. Not a great coach, but we keep Tatey with us. Some former players as well, and some former names like Nascimento, Paul McGuinness, Brunskill is there. Bianchesi is there. Jacinto is there. Who else? Heitinger. So some former names. Club doctor, of course, you can't change, but apart from that, Ritson Lloyd is still at the club, as is Richard Buchanan. We could upgrade them, but again, there's no need to. We'll keep them here. Anybody else that's still at the club? Probably not. No. But yeah, world-class players, world-class staff members. Absolutely dominant. A transition to more of an English/British feel to the team. The foreigners gaining passports. We're at the height of our powers. 92 million on Donnarumma in goals. 136 for Mbappe up top. A world-class team that loves playing together in a tactic which absolutely obliterates oppositions. And that's my own tactic, built by hand and everything. So I feel very proud of our achievements. It's a hell of a save. 8 years in the making. Boy, did we sign some players and sell some players. Look at that. Like, we lost Van der Horn first season. We wasted that money on strikers that wouldn't cut it. Then we got money from Jordan Ayew, Daniel James's deal, Andre Ayew to get the wages off the books, Che Adams a small profit, and we slowly now start spending that money more responsibly. Tonali, he was a bad signing. He was a bad signing. But Tonali was a good signing, slowly getting people in. Ocampo became a legend. Alan Franco, Kula in the third season. Les Class, only just in the team, but he's there. He was signed on the same day as Alan Franco and Sandro Kulenovic. He just had a longer pathway, boys. Just had a longer pathways. Arp and Fio and Fala, Soto in that season. Serda, who we ended up selling. Neil Maupay, a little bit of a profit, but disappointing there that we couldn't get him really to play the way we wanted to. Then Barbosa in as a free transfer. Rebello, Raya and Rajkovic in goal because Dean Henderson, we signed cheaply, went for big money. Like, so many memories. Renato comes in there. Toussaint, what a player he was for us as well. But yeah, Connor Roberts, decent money. Henderson, decent money. Borja, time to send him out. Ollie McBurney, time to send him out. He went to Argentina. He's loving life down there. He's not really playing, but he's loving life down there. Jaras finally goes out. Jaras the badass. Early seasons. What a legend he was. Loved every bit of having him. The last Swansea player out, 31st of January 2022, was Bersan Salina. Decent player, but didn't work out for us. Tonali, big money, my first real big money sale. That allowed us to bring in Renato Sanchez and develop. Then when Arp goes up with his release clause, Muratovic comes in. Bro is in there as well. Serdar did a little bit of a profit. And then not much else out. But yeah, coming in this time, Takita wasn't great. Sarah was. So we're kind of batting 500 on a lot of these. But yeah, not much else in. Luka Jovic wasn't playing at Real Madrid. Did okay for me, and then we sold him on. Nobody else really big money there. Bunch of young players, bunch of people. Mattia Perin, we knew that, Raya wanted to leave. He goes to Chelsea. We bring in Perin, who did better and cost us less. Joe Allen back at the club. What a legend that boy is. Duvon out, that sucked. Takita for a profit, which was great. Now Renato out for big money. Toussaint out for double his money, pretty much. Dylan Thomas, not bad left back, but wasn't going to make it, and got decent money there. Gimba, what a profit made on him, but what a servant he was for a long time as well. And then we're getting up here to the Ehrenreichs and Donnarumma days, where these new players are starting to come in. We saw these in the Season 7 video. We're not going to go over those again. But some big money moves being made. Some big money moves. And then the Season 8 moves we looked at the start of this game. Just setting this up. And then for the start of Season 9, we've made some more moves, including Kula out, which kind of hurts, but it had to be done. So, yeah, I think we've seen everything we can. I think we've got a world-class team. We've got the best team in the world. Still haven't had a Sun come through. Still haven't got the stadium with the name on. But I think within 5 years, we might have a shot at both of those. So offline, this game will continue. But we're not streaming it anymore. Like I say, we've got the Journeyman. So head on over to twitch.tv/ChrisArmy to check that out. And yeah, apart from that, guys, this has been an absolute fantastic look back at the save. I've been testing other people's tactics. I've been testing my own tactics. I've been doing all kinds of stuff. So I've got a lot of tactics to play with. But I want to make sure that this joins the mix. Because boy, did it work. Wingerless, but width from the fullbacks, from the Mezzalas, and from the strikers pushing out wide. This has been one of the greatest saves I've ever had on FM. It's been the quickest Swansea save I've ever had, I think, to develop. As in, I've had saves where I've won the Premier League first season while we were in the first season. But we were a much better team with much better players. Like, we had Boni and Michu and Ayu and everybody at their primes. So, this was a lot more work. Season 1 was rough. Season 2 was good. Season 3 was unbelievable. Season 4 was majestic. So was Season 5. And 6, 7, 8, when we won the league and the Champions League, was just mind-blowing. So, it started off badly, but slowly progressed. And you know what? This is about as good a job as I've ever done in FM. It's about as good I've made a team in FM. And I can see it getting better with some of these boys breaking through. I can see it making a bit of an impact in the future. So, hey, we leave it there. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this look back. Long video, but I gave myself a lot of time to talk about this because I knew I was going to get nostalgic and look back towards the end. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's going up in its entirety. This is Season 8 and a systematic review of our time at Swansea on Twitch. Like I say, we do have a new save. It is a Journeyman. We did start that in, well, we started an employee, but our first club was Avarta in Denmark. We've now sort of developed on now to Season 4. Things have progressed, so join me there. I'm going live in about 20 minutes since I've actually started, till my start of that. So, wish me luck. We're in Season 4, as I say. Big things afoot. And, yeah, I've also done really well in that save. I'm enjoying that a lot. I'm really proud of those achievements as well. So, gotta say I've loved FM19. And I've enjoyed sharing it with you here and on Twitch. So, if you have enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, notification bell. Follow me on Twitter. Hit me up on Twitch. If you want to support me, hit subscribe on Twitch. If you've got Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription, which basically gives me a couple of quid every month, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. So if you are interested, head over, check me out on Twitch. Until then, guys, thanks so much. I'll see you later. Y'all take care of yourselves, and for now, bye-bye to Swansea.